Here. Yeah. That's the ticket.
Yeah, it's a podcast,
It's
see?
a podcast. See, that's the ticket. I wish we could have another Christmas break. That would be nice. I need another vacation.
Right?
Let's
I
do.
know
Let's
I
do.
took that extra week off, and when I went back to work the last Monday, I'm just like, I could use
Yeah,
another week.
same. All right, everybody. We're here to do a show,
Yeah.
and I need to put up our little thing here. There we go. And let's start a show, everybody. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Greetings, programs, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Cave Retro Show. My name is Jason Robbins.
And my name is Derek Diamond.
So, how was your week, good sir?
Well, it's not too bad. You know, I feel like we go through this every year that like we have New Year's, so everybody's like, "Oh, new year, new me, we're going to do, all these different things better and so on and so forth." And then I feel like the rest of the month is just kind of there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I mean, we've had I won't say busy, but we'll say productive week because we're really narrowing down our research on the new podcast that my wife and I are doing. Gonna shop for some set decor this weekend, and yeah,
Nice.
that's been pretty much it.
I was telling Derek before the show. I think I'm coming down with something. I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling kind of funky tonight. So if my voice sounds a little weird, it's because I've been having sneezing fits the last 2 days, and I just didn't really sleep well. I don't really feel 100%, but I'm gonna soldier forth because you guys need your retro gaming news and stuff for the week. So I'm here. I'm in it to win it.
If there is a silver lining, it's my review this week, so you won't have to
Nice.
do as much talking.
But yeah, I didn't really do much this weekend. I tried. Was gonna to start things off next week. We're gonna do top 5 next week. So next week we're gonna do top 5. What was it? Guilty pleasure
Guilty
gaming.
pleasure games.
And who sent that to us? Let me look it up real quick. It's right here. Let's see. It was from Armez Jackson. That was one of his ideas
Beat
for
writer.
the
All
top
right.
5, and we're gonna do top 5 guilty pleasure games. And but the thing is, my next review, I'm really excited to do play the Warriors. I still haven't got a chance to play it yet, and I got all my stuff set up here in the living room from the move. I'm still like things. It's here to 7 months later, and everything's still like in disarray.
Yeah,
I
no.
went to go play my PlayStation 2, and my AV cable is missing. I can't find it to hook it up. I do have my other PlayStation 2, the one that has the little tiny screen on it. I have that, but I wanted to play it on the big TV. So now I got to either search the house for an AV cable for the PS2 or go buy a new one at Play and Talk. So I might just go buy a new AV cable this weekend so I can play the Warriors for my next review.
Well, they can't be that expensive. And plus, if you do end up finding your original one, you have a spare.
Yeah, they're like $10. I looked it up. They're like $10 pretty much everywhere. Whether I order on Amazon, Walmart, or Play and Talk, around $10 for it. So that's just kind of a pain, though, man. Like it's just like I had everything set up, but like that's the one thing I didn't have my AV cable for. And I'm like, well, crap. I don't know where it could be. Like I have no clue where it could be in this house.
If you're like me, it'll be one of those situations you'll get the new cable, and like 2 months later, you'll just randomly find the original one.
Yeah, of course. I'll find it as soon as I go buy the new one. It'll just be
Yeah,
like
or that too.
sitting right next to the PS2 as soon as I go get the new one.
I get so mad at myself when that
Yeah.
happens.
And our good buddy Mushmouth in the chat room Says he's heard
Yeah,
good
shout
things
out to Mushmouth.
about the Warriors game. I've heard really good stuff about it. Rockstar always does good games too, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I don't know why I never played this on the original game, because it seemed like they would have put this in more places than the PS2. Because I don't think this was ever. I think this was a PlayStation 2 exclusive, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right.
Which seems
We got to
weird.
get the soundbite from that movie. Come out to
Oh, I'm
play.
gonna capture that and can you dig it?
I love that one.
Because we gotta,
Can you dig
because
it?
we gotta do either a commentary track for that movie or a round table. Because I love that movie. It's so weird and just I don't know about you, but the baseball furies still kind of haunt my nightmares. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it does. I haven't watched that movie in years. So I'm going to need to rewatch it before we do any kind of episode based on it.
Yeah, it's
But
been
I'll
a
be
while.
excited. I've been meaning to revisit it.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've done this weekend. Not much. Looked for my PlayStation 2 cable, couldn't find it, so I just went back to playing some more Resident Evil 4, and I'm gonna try to. I beat it on hardcore last night, so now I started a new game where I'm gonna try to beat it on professional and see if I can.
At some point, we're going to need to do like an hours comparison between Resident Evil 4 and Days Gone for Joey.
Oh God, I don't even want to know how many hours I put into Resident Evil 4 at this point.
It's all good, though.
But we'll see once I get through the get through with the professional playthrough. I'll add up all the hours and see how many hours it took me to get through all those.
I'm going to go ahead and throw out a prediction. I'm going to say 374.
Oh, I'll probably close to that. I would think well over 100. I know that at least.
We'll see. That was just a random number I threw out there. So
It's got to be
who
well
knows what'll
over.
happen.
It's got to be well over 100 at this point. If you count the original place Resident Evil 4 that I played back in the day for that I had on the GameCube, which I played through I think twice that game. So you got to count those too as well. But I don't know how long it took me to beat those. I don't have that info anymore.
We'll say 102.
Probably. But that's gonna that's about all I got for our little beginning thing here. Sorry, everybody, my head's a little swimming right now, so I'm trying
All
as
good.
best I can. But we're gonna go ahead and hit the news. What do you say?
Let's do it.
And all of this week's stories were provided to us by Mr. Armez Jackson. And if you have a news story you'd like us to cover, send them to nerdcaveretro at gmail.com. The first one comes from nintendolife.com. Shovel Knight Dig gets limited Switch physical edition from Super Rare Games. Let's see. 2022 Shovel Knight Dig, a collaboration with the maestros at Nitrome, even managed to swipe a rather excellent 9 of 10 in their review for the game. The game positively oozes quality, whether that be snappy action platforming or the fresh 16-bit art style and animation. Now, Super Rare Games has announced that a limited physical edition of this roguelike will be made available via its official website at 6 p.m. or 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 8th of January, which was like 5 days ago. So it's already up, ready for your pre-order. And but it's only only 4,000 units are available, and only 2 copies per customer. So if you want to go get one, I would say go get it right now.
So I checked earlier today. They are already sold out.
Really? Good
Yes.
Lord. That was fast.
I know. I was just like, I'm curious because Shovel Knight's got its fan base. So I'm not entirely surprised that this is already sold out. But I don't know if you've played any of the Shovel Knight games. They're really fun. I've actually got a Shovel Knight amiibo around here
Really?
somewhere. Back when the amiibos were at their peak of popularity, they were like For some reason, they put
Yeah.
out a Shovel Knight one. Um,
Surprised they didn't do an
but they're
update on here saying that they were sold out. Usually they are pretty good about doing updates to their articles.
yeah, that's a little surprising. But they have a release date trailer. Like this has been available digitally since September. This is just the physical version that we're talking about.
Yeah.
They did one of these old like 90s or 80s style video game commercials where they
Yeah.
have this guy dressed as Shovel Knight, and it's I feel like I was watching like a chill version of Pineapple Express
Really?
when I was watching. Yeah, it's just Shovel Knight barges into this guy's room that's bored, and he's like, "Adventure awaits."
That's so cool.
And they
I didn't
and
get a chance to watch the trailer, but I'm gonna watch it as soon as we're done here.
yeah, it's pretty funny. If you're a fan of that like 90s, I won't say dry humor, but almost like lame humor,
Yeah.
but you still laugh at it
It's
anyway,
because it's so
it's
lame.
pretty good. Yeah, it is, but um yeah, I'm curious as to how good this game is. You can still get the digital version for 24.99.
Wow.
So I might have to check this out eventually because I do like the Shovel Knight games.
I'm gonna have to check out a Shovel Knight game. I never have.
They're pretty fun. They're like fun little platforming throwbacks. Let's see. Next up from and then let's see. Okay. From TimeExtension.com, this Switch-size handheld packed with Capcom and Bandai Namco games is finally launching this year. The GameStation Retro Go, announced by My Arcade at CES last year, is finally getting a release. It was initially scheduled to launch in 2025, but has been pushed back to this year. It's a close match to the Atari GameStation Go, boasting a slightly different control setup. It comes preloaded with Capcom and Bandai Namco games. And the layout of it kind of reminds me of the Switch
Hmm.
a little bit if you have the Joy-Cons attached to the sides. But let's see if
Got a
it
nice
has a
big
list.
screen on it though.
Yeah, it does. It actually looks better than expected.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a list of the games that
Yeah, I'm
are
looking.
available, but on the box cover you can see 1942, Street Fighter 2, Galaga, Pac-Man, Mega Man. So you've got the classics.
Yeah.
So there's at least that.
Yeah, a lot of old classic arcade games like Rally X, Galaga, all those kind of, really cool arcade games back in the day. Plus, you got like Street Fighter 2, Mega Man, Mappy, all kind of good stuff on there.
Yeah, for sure.
This next story is also from NintendoLife.com. Nintendo expands Switch 2's GameCube library with another game. Let's see. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance was originally teased for the Switch Online expansion pack GameCube library last year, and has now been added to the service in the first update of 2026. This tactical role-playing game was originally released on the GameCube in 2005, and they are actually doing a review of it right now for Nintendo Life. And let's see, you'll need to have the Switch 2 and an active Switch Online expansion pack membership to play it, so you can't play it on the original Switch. So if you want to play it, got to have the Switch 2.
That's lame.
Yeah, I don't like that.
It's very lame.
It's not like
It's
you
interesting 'cause
couldn't run GameCube games on the Switch. I mean, come on, man.
they're just they're just trying to get people to buy that new system.
I know.
It does say here because I noticed this with a notification I got the other day. Nintendo has also released the game's soundtrack on Nintendo Music.
Oh,
I did get that notification, and I was like, "That's a really random like, game soundtrack to drop." But
no.
this makes sense.
Mhm.
But I've grown to like the Nintendo Music app. Like it could have more, but
Yeah.
you're not gonna get everything with Nintendo.
I mean, that's why I like YouTube Music, because I can pretty much just get all
Yep.
that right there and no problem.
I actually did like I made the switch to YouTube Music,
Yeah.
and it's a lot better because you can find like there's this YouTube channel I'm subscribed to called Nostalgia, where they do like different remixes of video game soundtracks, and you can find those on YouTube Music.
Yeah, yeah.
So it makes it a whole lot better.
Anything you can find on YouTube is on YouTube Music. So it's really, it's my favorite music streaming app. Like I'll never go back to Spotify or Amazon or anything like that again. Oh, and it
Yeah,
also says
same.
here that some of the other titles planned for the service include Pokemon Coliseum and Super Mario Sunshine. I'm surprised that Sunshine isn't out already.
Yeah, you would think, but that's
Yeah.
that's a whole separate conversation. And our last news story from, of course, Nintendo Life. They should sponsor this show.
Yeah,
honestly.
no kidding.
Switch game vouchers won't be sold after January 2026. Speaking of Nintendo trying to get people to buy the Switch too. Last July, Nintendo announced it would be ending the sale of Switch game vouchers. It's now apparently sent out another reminder and potentially the last major one before the big date. So as of January 30th, game vouchers will no longer be available for purchase. Before then, Switch Online members can still buy a pair of game vouchers, and these will be valid for exactly 12 months after the purchase date. So if you want to buy someone a Switch game voucher, do it by the end of the month.
Yeah.
I've never used a game voucher. Like
haven't
I
either.
just I get like I got a Switch eShop gift card for Christmas.
Yeah.
I like it to have the option because it
Yeah.
pays for my Switch Online membership. It got me the game that I'm going to be talking about in just a bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like I've never used a voucher, so this really isn't going to affect me at all. So, but if you're a voucher user, you got to do it soon.
yeah, absolutely.
Why is my cat climbing the wall? What are you doing over there? He's so weird. He's just the weirdest cat. You're weird. I have to let him know.
If only we could train our pets to do a podcast.
No kidding.
But then I would feel bad about myself because it would probably like quadruple what we normally do.
Yeah, if I put my cat here on the microphone, it would probably do 3 times the numbers that we do here, and that would just break
Just
my
the-
heart.
The viewership just spikes.
But now we're at the end of the news. It is time for this month in video game history. In January of 1981, Atari Computer Magazine Analog Computing begins 9 years of publication. Most issues include at least one basic game and one machine language game. I don't think I ever had any of these. I remember this magazine, but I never had any.
Yeah, like this was a bit before my time, so I don't remember actually seeing this magazine, but I'm not surprised. 'Cause, like Atari was the big name in town before Nintendo and Super Mario Brothers came along.
It's just crazy
I
that
love
it went all the way to 1990.
I know. I always think Atari, like their relevance really dropped off after like 87 or maybe
Yeah.
88. I love the cover that is in this Wikipedia article. It says Atari in the home, a piece of cake. And it has an Atari system that is like it looks like a cake.
That's
And now I
awesome.
want cake.
Yeah, no kidding. I want cake.
January 14th, 1987, Nintendo releases Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link for the Famicom Disk System in Japan only. And then, of course, the game would go unreleased in America for nearly 2 years afterwards.
And it should have stayed unreleased in America.
I can say it's the best platform style side scrolling Zelda game I've ever played.
Yeah,
Because it's the only one.
I agree with that sentiment.
I did play through this and complete it for the first time. And it's one of those like I'm glad I can check that off the list. but it's still not my favorite Zelda game by any stretch.
Yeah, no, it's. I could go the rest of my life and never have to play that game again, and probably will. Probably will never touch that game again for the rest of my life. No reason to.
Oh, fair enough.
And Nick says Zelda 2 is awesome, but way too hard. It's just not fun to me. Like there's nothing about that game. Like I don't like to explore. I mean, some games are okay. Like okay, I take that back. I do like to explore, like Metroid and Castlevania, where the term Metroidvania comes from, because it does a lot of backtracking, a lot of exploring. But Zelda 2 just something about that game just so totally confuses me about where to go, what to do, and it just doesn't feel like Zelda. I don't like side-scrolling Zelda. It just doesn't fit the genre.
Well, to address Nick's comment, it is a pretty difficult game, and honestly, if it didn't have save states,
Yeah.
I would not have been able to finish it because it is really difficult. But oh yeah, OmniSlick. Well, first of all, thank you for joining the show.
Yeah.
And he says Zelda 2 was Nintendo experimenting. I agree with that. But we saw that they went back to what worked.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, I mean, look at Link to the Past compared to Zelda 2. It's just it's nowhere near what Link to the Past was.
No.
Oh
No,
yeah,
Link to the Past is oh he says best Zelda is Link the face. No, I'm not even gonna finish that comment.
he said Wind
He
Waker's the
says
best
Wind
one.
Waker's the best one. If someone says Wind Waker's their favorite Zelda, like I'm not going to dispute it. I love Wind Waker. It's
Yeah,
a
I do
great
too.
game. It's got one of the best story twists. We still got to figure out what we're going to do for the Zelda 40th.
Yeah, yeah, we need to talk about that.
Yeah,
I
we do.
definitely want to do some of the Zelda cartoons and do a commentary track.
I've been wanting to do that again for years.
Dude, I got the DVD. I found it at a thrift store, unopened. It's red. It's fresh.
I'm not surprised that it was unopened.
Oh no, it's a fresh DVD. Never seen the light of day. We need to crack that thing open.
If when the Zelda movie comes out, if Link says, "Excuse me, princess," I'm going to react one of two ways. I'm either going to just laugh so hard that people are going to be yelling at me to shut up, or I'm just going to get like so out of control rage that I like just storm out of the theater.
You're gonna be like that guy on the gif of "Boo this man, boo," and throw your popcorn at the screen, walk out.
The gif where the guy gets hit in the face with the radio. Oh man,
That's funny.
yeah, we'll cross that bridge if I get to it.
Yeah. January 29th of 1996, 3D Realms and GT Interactive released Duke Nukem 3D for MS-DOS.
I'm still surprised there hasn't been at least an announcement for a Duke Nukem movie. It'd be amazing.
I know, but I think Duke Nukem's day has come and gone. Like that ship has sailed.
The only way it would work is if you set it in the 90s.
And you made
And you
John
essentially
Cena
made it
Duke
yeah,
Nukem.
and yeah, exactly. I mean, he's retired from wrestling now, so he should have a little more time.
But even he might be a little old for Duke Nukem now, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's 48,
Yeah,
49.
We're the same
Something like that.
age. We're not that far apart.
So, I don't know. But he would be the ideal choice.
I saw something the other day. They were talking about people wondering why he walks so funny. And it's like, well, he's 48 and he's been, doing slams and everything else. And I'm like, I'm 48 and I walk like that and I haven't done any of that stuff. So I get it. I'm just normally that way.
When people talk about that, and I'm sure that most, if not every wrestler, and I mean, Joey's told us stories too about, the pain he's endured.
Yeah.
Imagine the pain that Mick Foley wakes up in.
Oh, dude. That poor guy.
Yeah.
I can't even. I'm pretty sure he just. wakes up screaming every day.
Yeah. Well, speaking of wrestling, January 12th of 1999, Inland Productions and THQ released WCW NWO Thunder for the PlayStation in North America. I don't remember playing this game. Like, I knew of it. I think the only wrestling game I played for the PlayStation was WCW Nitro.
Yeah, that cover looks familiar though. I remember seeing this game.
Yeah, I definitely remember it. But I don't know. I always liked Nitro because whenever you would select the wrestler, their image would pop up and they do like 10-second promo,
Yeah,
which was really cool.
that's cool. Let's see, January 7th of 2000, publisher ASC Games shut down due to financial issues arising with the ongoing delay of their upcoming game Werewolf the Apocalypse: The Heart of Gaia.
That's got to be such a heartbreaking situation
Yeah, no kidding.
when a whole company has to shut down.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, the game never even came out, never officially
No.
released, although a prototype of the Sega Saturn version was found and shared through the internet.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this will be one of those games that, when we talk about this and we're doing this show, like 5 years from now, we'll find out that somebody completed it.
Yeah, of
I
course.
think that'd actually be really cool. And finally, January 4th of 2001, Jagex, I assume that's how you pronounce it,
I guess.
releases RuneScape for Windows.
RuneScape.
I remember hearing about RuneScape.
My girlfriend loves RuneScape. She will play
Still
that
plays
right
RuneScape.
now. Yeah, she still does. Still logs in, plays every once in a while. Not often, but still jumps in there occasionally to play.
All right.
It's still going.
Now I know. Now I know somebody who
Yeah.
has played RuneScape.
Yeah, she still plays it. It's still going to this day.
That's impressive.
Yeah, still looks pretty good too.
Oh, good.
But that brings us to the end of this month in video game history. And before we go into the review tonight, man, did you hear my stomach growl? That was crazy. Like, brrr.
Thankfully, I did not.
But before we go into the review, Derek, do you want to do our Patreon shout-outs?
As always, we like to shout out our awesome patrons over at patreon.com/nerdcaveretro. Shout out to our two newest patrons, Shane's World and Eek7674. Thank you guys for joining our Patreon family. Also, OmniSlick, who is in the chat this evening. Alex the Alley Cat, Justin Nispel, Riley, the official NCR fact checker, Mr. Wally Phelps, Nick W., also joining us in the chat this evening, Eld the Zombie, Yup Fed, a.k.a. Knife, Raven, Daniel Salmon, a.k.a. Bethany Fox, our amazing Discord community manager, Mr. B-Res Coffee himself, Mike Eveland, Axblade07, the official NCR beat writer, Mr. Armez Jackson, Carlos Longoria, better known as I Am the Rampage, Staff Sergeant Sketch, Gus and Penny, Matthew Salmon, and now we introduce a man who knows his potato, being accompanied by his manager, Sir Marcus Vontavious Alabama Chicken, the American Salad, Venus, the golf instructor, the Dream Chaser, violinist, pianist, and overall enjoyer of music, the undisputed Nerd Cave Retro Heavyweight Champion of the World, Joey Image.
We're going to have to make a whole separate show just for all of his nicknames.
And he's giving Apollo Creed a run for his money. And last but not least,
Mama Diamond.
Donna Diamond. Thank you all so much for your contributions to keeping the lights on for us here at the Nerd Cave Retro Show. For as little as $1 a month, you get early access to our bonus episodes, which include commentary tracks for full-length movies, for animated shows, roundtable discussions. We even did a Dungeons and Dragons campaign last year, so hopefully we can bring that back for 2026. And you also get your own RSS feed with 0 ads. If you want to hear this conversations like this with no interruption, then it just costs
There
you a
you go.
dollar a month. So if you want to be a part of our awesome Patreon community, just head over to patreon.com/nerdcaveretro. And for new patrons, be sure to send us your social media info so we can give you a proper shout out.
And tonight, going to be talking about... That was badass.
Where to start with this game? Like I've honestly, since like within 5 minutes of me starting to play this game, I'm like, I'm so excited to talk about it on the podcast because, we're a big fan of nostalgia. Obviously, I mean that's why we're doing this podcast. But you and I are both big Terminator fans. It's had its ups and downs through the decades, but
Yeah.
Terminator 2, for those of you who are only like vaguely aware of it, it is one of the best movies ever made. Like it is a very complete from the way it was made, story, actors. It's a perfect movie, in my opinion.
Well, we had a roundtable about it a few years back with our good buddy Steve Wise, who's also a filmmaker. And we all agree that Terminator 2 needs to be taught, like just as a class in film school.
Yes. Yeah, and if I don't know if you guys want to hear that roundtable, you can go back to the Derek Diamond Experience archives. I don't know what episode number it is, but it's labeled Terminator Roundtable. So definitely go check that out. But I cannot remember a really good Terminator game. Like I know there was T2, the arcade game, but there wasn't really like a standout game from that era for Terminator. And then we heard about Terminator 2D No Fate, which is what we're going to be talking about for the rest of the show. It is an action-adventure game developed by Bitmap Bureau and published by Reef Entertainment for Nintendo Switch, PS4 and 5, Windows, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X/S. The game takes place during the events of the movie Terminator 2 Judgment Day and was released on December 12th, 2025. I'll just say this to really start off this review. From the moment the menu pops up, it's like the opening of Terminator 2 with the steel kind of clamping down and you see the title. And I'm just like, oh, this is such a great start to this game. The graphics are great. It looks like your modern take on like a platformer, side scroller, shooter type game.
It looked it looked to me it looked very Genesis centric.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate. And the cool thing about this, so it takes place during the events of the movie, but it also adds a neat prologue and epilogue to the story. So like when the game starts, you're playing as Sarah Connor and you're trying to find out more information about how to stop Skynet from existing. And you break into, like a Cyberdyne type facility. She gets captured and then put in the mental hospital where she is when the movie starts. Then you get to jump to the future where machines have taken over and you play as future John Connor with scars and all. Like he looks just like he did in Terminator 2. And the future war levels are awesome. Like it has that just dark, gritty, post-apocalyptic, like that kind of blue, like just tragic looking set from Terminator 1 and 2. And just getting to use like the advanced weapons, because you have this laser rifle basically, and you get different upgrades, and they only last for like 30 seconds, but you get like a homing shot. You can basically like double your firepower, and you fight mid bosses and final bosses for really each stage. And you're fighting these huge machines that like you've seen them in the movies, but now you actually get to fight them, and even some new ones too, which is really cool. And then you get to Skynet, and you see that the Terminators have already been sent back, one to 84 and one to the 90s. And then that's when you get the reprogrammed T800. And then you go into the biker bar and all of that. And this was my biggest geek out moment from this entire game. There are a lot of Easter eggs, and I won't spoil the majority of them because I know you haven't played it yet, and I want you to be able to experience it. When you walk into the bar, the Dwight Yoakam song that plays in the movie actually plays in the game.
Really? What
So,
am I saying to
you
pay him
walk.
for that?
I have no idea, but what makes it even better is when you're about a third of the way through the stage, you find this jukebox, and when you hit it, Add to the Bone starts playing.
That's cool.
And let me tell you, I had visibly had this huge grin on my face because it just, we talk about movie adaptations and how you want to feel like you're in that world. It was just one of those little nuances that I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah.
But this captures the spirit of Terminator 2 and then some. From the music, which, the graphics are great, and I think the music might even be better because they use elements of the score, especially in moments like when you're playing as John Connor and you're getting chased by the T-1000 when it's driving the 18-wheeler. It has that da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-dun that you hear in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And what's cool is whenever the T-800 shows up and you switch to him, he even does the flip that he does with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Because you have to shoot the 18-wheeler to keep it from following you. Every time you shoot a couple of different rounds of ammo, the character will flip the gun, and then you start shooting again. And I'm just like, little things like that are just so cool.
That's so cool. Yeah, I watched gameplay of this. Skipped around the gameplay. I didn't actually watch the whole thing, but just kind of skipped from scene to scene to kind of check it out. And I'm excited to play this game so much. I really am looking forward to it. This is one of my pretty much top 5 favorite movies of all time. And when I was saying earlier, it looked very Genesis centric, not Terminator Genesis, but Sega Genesis. Like, it looks like a Sega Genesis game to me.
I don't think we'll be getting a Terminator Genesis game anytime soon.
Hope not. But one thing I was thinking, like, when that last Terminator game that came out for I played on the PS4. I don't remember the name of it, but that was a pretty good game. But the thing is, like, when they make these Terminator games, like, this is great. I really want to play this. Sounds like it's really well done. But when it comes to Terminator games, I want to do stuff like, give me a game where you have to, like a tactical, almost shooter, squad-based shooter game set in the future where you have to capture the T-800 from Terminator 2 so you can reprogram him like he's the main boss of the game in the future, or something along those lines. Like, they actually reprogramming him so you can send him back to the past. Like, that would be an awesome kind of thing to do in a video game.
Yeah, if I were to make a Terminator game, it would be pretty much that. Like, I would want it set in the future where you have to fight the machines.
Yeah,
whether it's, on the ground or in the air. Make it like that, and I think it would actually be really fun.
Because I was thinking about this a lot back when I was playing Aliens Dark Descent. Like, I would love a Terminator game just like that, like a squad-based shooter, but set it in the future. Like, having to, get into Cyberdyne to get to the time portal thing. Like everything that is talked about in the movies that happen in the future, that's what I want to do in the games.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's cool about this game is you do get elements of the future when you play as future John Connor because in the epilogue, so once you complete the main story of the game, if you've seen the movie, it ends exactly the same way. You actually you cut to the future where you play as John Connor one more time to shut down Skynet. Because they talk about in the original movie how like they had Skynet beat, and that's when it sends back
Yeah.
the Terminator. So you actually get to destroy Skynet, which is really cool.
That's cool.
And another thing too, and I won't spoil the outcomes, but one of the main selling points for me in this game was that you get to make different choices that alter the storyline. And I'll tell you what the choices are, but I won't tell you the outcomes. So you have to play through the story as is, at least once.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the scene where Sarah John and the Terminator are at that like that desert ranch, and the Terminator's talking about how his CPU is capable of learning, but it wasn't set that way.
Mhm.
And then John's like, "Well, can we reset the chip?" You can either reset it or you can leave it as is. Then that leads into the next choice when Sarah decides to go after Miles Dyson. You can either spare him
Mhm.
or you cannot.
Hmm.
And it takes some very interesting directions. And that's what's cool is you can do different combinations. Like you can choose to reset the chip and then kill Dyson,
Yeah.
and that adds a little bit of a different story. So it adds some nice replayability. And I've seen this complained about quite a bit online, but the story mode isn't that long. Like it took me about an hour or a little over to complete it. Like it's a pretty short game. But with these different choices you can take, and then that unlocks what's called boss rush, where you can play through, the different boss fights back to back to back. And then another story called Mother of the Future, which I haven't done that one yet, but there's enough there that I think it justifies getting it.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion, anyway. Now, as much as I love this game, there's one critique that I have of it. And this is really the only one I can think of. In a game called Terminator, you only play as the actual Terminator in two stages.
Yeah.
When you go to the biker bar, and then when you rescue John Connor from the T-1000 the first time. Now, I don't know if that's because they didn't have Arnold's likeness, because even in the cutscenes, like Sarah Connor looks like Linda Hamilton. The
Yeah.
T-1000 looks like Robert Patrick. The T-800, like it kind of looks like Arnold, but you can tell that it's not. And even when the little character dialogue screens come up, when it's the Terminator talking, it's the Terminator robot face, but with like a human skin on the
Yeah.
back, which is it was disappointing.
Yeah,
I will say that, but
I'm pretty
you
sure
could have
though it's probably really expensive to get Arnold's likeness. I mean, it can't
Yeah.
be cheap.
Yeah, and that's honestly what I think it is. But I was even like, when John Connor runs into both Terminators at the mall, you could have done that as a Terminator stage, where you essentially like
Yeah.
are chased by the T-1000, and then John like escapes, and then that cuts into the chase scene.
But that's cool though. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just so much that happens in that movie that it just lends itself to being a great video game type of thing.
One of the coolest things and one of my favorite stages to play is after you blow up Cyberdyne, you're chased by the T-1000 in the police helicopter, and you have to shoot it down. And there is the fight's in like different phases,
Yeah,
and you're having to like avoid traffic and everything.
that's cool.
It's really really fun. And I've played through this game quite a bit. I haven't done all of the outcomes yet, but this is just it's such a good adaptation. It's one of the best adaptations I've ever played.
Yeah, and this game took a while to come out too. It was originally scheduled for October 31st, which I thought it was earlier than that in 2025. It was delayed by the tariffs and all that. Um,
Yeah.
then set to be released on the 25th of November, but was delayed again to give the publisher time to complete physical editions of the game. So this poor game suffered a lot of pushback when it was trying to get put out. So I think that maybe contributed to why it didn't have such a huge response when it came out. But you know, I I think Terminator 2. I mean, I would have played this. I don't know. I just feel like, what am I trying to say? My brain is boiling right now.
Oh, it's okay.
Like I was so excited to see this when it was coming out, and I don't know. I just kind of felt like wasn't a whole lot of fanfare for this game
No.
when it came out, and I feel like it deserved a lot more. But I don't know. Would
Well,
be such
even
a small publisher, maybe. I don't know. But the Terminator 2, like, name itself is huge.
yeah, and I didn't even really know about it until we talked about it on the show, and then
Yeah,
we found out, oh, it's coming out in like a week.
yeah.
So
And
I've been
I didn't hear
oh,
about
go
it
ahead.
till it was almost released, and I was like, "Holy crap, we got a Terminator 2 game coming!" And that's when we talked about it, and I was like, "Man, I didn't hear anything about this game to the lead up for it."
Yeah, then when I got that Switch gift card for Christmas, I was instantly like, I know what I'm getting.
Yeah.
And I started playing it that night.
And Nick in the
Um,
chat asked, "Did you unlock the cheat menu?"
yeah, I was just about to answer that. I have not yet. But as soon as I do, I will let you know.
And
I
what
haven't
is
played it
that?
in a few days.
What is that cheat menu again, Nick? So we can let everybody know who's playing the game and wants to know the cheat code. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, it
well,
goes
well,
through here on the Wikipedia page about the different paths that you can take in the game, but I am not going to read those.
yeah, yeah. Don't do that.
I want to be
And
surprised.
there's no real like reception other than it says the trailer has received positive reviews, calling it a love letter to the Terminator franchise, and that's exactly what it is. You can tell that those who made this game is like you talked about last week with the DuckTales remaster. The people who made this game had to have been huge Terminator fans
Yeah,
because it captures the essence of that universe perfectly. From the setting, the dialogue, the graphics, the music especially. Like when you're in the Cyberdyne building, it almost has this like Terminator score meets Daft Punk
yeah,
kind of feel to it, and it's really cool. And I even love the future music as well because it has that kind of sad feeling,
yeah,
like sad but almost like a horror theme
yeah.
in a way.
Nick
But on it,
Nick says
oh, go ahead.
select the CRT filter menu and tap left until you hear access granted.
Access granted.
Oh, and I wanted to let everybody know the Terminator game I was talking about for the PS4 that I played is called Terminator Resistance, and I enjoyed it a lot, even though there was a good bit of bugs in the game. But if you like Terminator, you'll enjoy that game.
Makes me think of that quote. This is John Connor, and if you're listening to this, are the resistance.
Yeah.
I liked Salvation.
I
Like
do
it wasn't
too.
the greatest Terminator movie, but we needed one that was set in the future.
I even like
But
Genesis. I don't care what anybody says. I liked it.
yeah, it's not as bad as I remember. So leading up to this, I recently went back and I watched through all the Terminator movies. And Genesis, like I think they time jumped a little too much.
Yeah.
But other than that, like but the story made sense to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind it. Is it my favorite Terminator? No, but it's not the worst.
It was still a
I don't
fun
even know
movie.
what. Yeah, actually don't know what would be my least favorite. I didn't
My,
really hate any of the movies.
my least favorite was probably the one that came out. I think it was the last one that came out. Then when where Linda Hamilton came back.
Oh, Dark Fate.
Dark Fate. Yeah, I saw it
Yeah,
once in the theater. And I was like, it was. I don't know. It felt way too different.
when they pulled the Alien 3 and the Alien 3ism and
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
no, no. Um, yeah, Terminator 2 it's by far the best of the movies, and
Yeah.
it's one of the best movies that's ever been made. And it gave us a really good retro feel style game that
Yep.
was released in 2025. I know we usually cover old games, but we make an exception when new games have that old school feel.
Yeah.
And I'll say for my number score, I will say that this game is a great throwback to a fun area or a fun era in gaming, and it is, in my opinion, one of the best adaptations from movie to game that I can remember playing. This has been the most fun I've had with a game since Tears of the Kingdom, as far as a new game that's come out. My only complaint is I would have liked a little more Terminator, like playing as the T-800, but it's not enough to really knock it. I give it a 10.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's just such a good game. And even though the story mode's not that long, if you're a Terminator fan, you're gonna love it because you're gonna feel like you're back in that world again.
So starting off 2026 with two perfect 10s in a row. How does that happen?
Two bangers.
Two bangers between DuckTales and Terminator 2. You got some good games to play, everybody.
Oh, Chuck says I'm here. Gonna need you to start over. Okay.
All right. Well, let me
Greetings,
go back.
programs, and
But yeah, that's I'm definitely gonna play it here soon when I get a copy of it, and that way I don't have to worry about being spoiled anymore on the different choices that you can make in the game. I'm really excited about that.
yeah, I had to really like not look at anything with the game to see.
But that's gonna bring us to the end of this episode, everybody, and next week is going to be top 5 guilty pleasure games. So get us your lists, send them to us over on the Discord, or message them to us on either Facebook, or you can email them to us. However you want to get them to us, just get them to us and we'll read them on the show. You can even leave a voice message if you want. Go to voicecast.app/NCR, and you don't have to sign up for anything. You just go there and just leave a message. That's all you got to do. You can leave us a message. We'll play it on the show if that's how you want to leave it. But other than that, I'm about done for this week. I'm about to go pass out, Derek.
Well, go pass out.
But what's going on in your world before we get out of here?
Yeah, just follow Coastline Crimes, the new podcast that my wife and I are doing, where we discuss true crime stories from the Gulf Coast. We'll be launching in the next few weeks. Is at Coastline Crimes on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. And I got nothing other than this show now. So listen to this show, everybody. It's at Nerd Cave Retro everywhere.
If you want a great podcast,
Yeah.
listen to the one you are now.
Yeah, we want a great podcast. Go to nerdcaveretro.com.
There we go.
And on that note, let's walk out the door. If you want to email us at nerdcaveretro@gmail. Oh, shoot. Hold on. He's right. I forgot. I did forget the listener review. Here we go. Let me run over here, everybody. Sorry about that. Nick's got us a listener review. And we do listener reviews, everybody. We haven't done one in a while. That's why I forgot. It's been a while. Let me pull up the Discord here. Let's see. Before we go, here we go. All righty, here we go. And he says, for my listener review, this is Nick, the horror game fan, everybody. He's in the chat room, and he was on the show not too long ago. He says, for my listener review, I'm going to review Knuckles Chaotix for the Sega 32X. Did you ever play this one, Derek?
I played it briefly as a kid, but not since then. So I really have no memory of it.
He says, this is by far one of the worst games I've ever played, and I played and beaten Revolution X on the Sega Genesis, and this was worse than that. I would rather play that again than this. Tell us how you really feel there, Nick. This game has an awful tether mechanic. Basically, another character is always tethered to Knuckles, which sounds good on paper, but the execution of this mechanic can make the levels frustrating. There's barely any new enemies in the levels. Some of the levels are confusing. There are 5 zones with 5 levels in each zone, and the zone doesn't really change at all. One of the zones you were forced to turn on a light somewhere in the stage, but if you don't turn on the lights when you make it to the end of the final, you will have to redo the level again. The visuals are okay despite the extra power of the 32X. The soundtrack is okay as well. The power-ups aren't good either. For some reason, they added a power-up that shrinks you in size. Another thing, too, is if a character is tethered to Knuckles, gets hit, you lose rings. That sucks. Luckily, though, you will have 2 more hits before you die. This game is not very good. I do not recommend this game at all. This sounds terrible.
Yeah, I've not really heard anything good about this. I plan to play it eventually and review it on the show, but I don't know. It sounded more like a gimmick than anything. So
well, maybe you don't need to now. Now that Nick told everybody how bad it is, we'll save ourselves that heartache.
One positive thing that you could say is it's the best game to feature Knuckles on the Sega 32X.
Yeah, you could say that.
I try to find the positives and everything.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But get us your listener reviews, everybody. We haven't had any in a while. It's we have a tab there on the Discord. It's listener reviews, and then go drop your listener reviews in there, and we will read them on the show. And like I said, it's been a while since guys have left us some reviews, so do that. So they'll give us a little more content for the episodes that we can read right here on the show. And thank you for that, Nick. And we will. Let's see. Anything else before we go? I don't think so. Let me go ahead and play our music again here. If you want to email us at nerdcaveretro@gmail.com. Leave us a voice message at voicecast.app/NCR. You don't have to sign up for anything. Just leave us a message. That's all you gotta do. And nerdcaveretro.com, that's our link tree. That takes you everywhere you need to go. All the social media, the Patreon, the voicemail, and of course, the merch shop, which is at ncrmerch.com. We have all kind of designs for t-shirts, hats, magnets, bags, mugs, whatever your nerdy heart desires. And if you can't do that, I understand that times are tough and money's tight. You know what's free? Leaving us a review and or a 5-star rating on all of the podcasting platforms. Derek, please tell them what it's all about.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah. Say, that's a nice bike.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Major. You did.
I lied.
I know that's not a Terminator 2 clip, but that's the only Arnold clip I have. Other than, what else do I... Oh, I could have did this one too.
My name is Freeze. Learn it well, for it's the chilling sound of your doom.
Yeah, I need to capture some Terminator 2 lines in here.
I was either gonna say what I did or I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
That makes me want to go watch Terminator 2 now.
It's I never tire of that movie.
Endlessly
It's so good.
rewatchable. You know what's weird?
Yeah,
You go and
it's
watch the trivia for that movie, and when they were filming that scene, the bar scene, like Rodney King was getting beaten up like across the street from where they were filming.
Oh, that's right.
That was
Yeah,
crazy.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. All kind of crazy. Like a lot of guerrilla filmmaking during that movie too, especially the first
Especially
one.
the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, because I think it was the scene where he kills the first Sarah Connor. It was literally like Arnold
yeah.
and James Cameron with a camera, and they just drove out there,
And you know
filmed it, and left.
he really did punch through that windshield in that scene because James Cameron told him to go punch through the windshield, the driver's side window, and he punched through it, like actually punched through the window.
I mean, Arnold was
He was a
he's
beast.
still in good shape for his age, but like he was a beast back then.
It's crazy. Well, we're going to play our little outro here. Thank you all for hanging out with us on the YouTubes. We'll be back here next week. Same bat time. Same.